Good morning. You're watching Much Ado About Something today, and I'm Donna. It is a beautiful spring day. Well, I've got some good news and I've got some not so good news. Let me just start out with the not so good news. I made a video, happy spring video, a good 50-minute long video, edited it, had it all together, and accidentally deleted it. I accidentally deleted the spring video, and I'm sorry for that because it was a lot of work and a lot of fun, and I hate that I accidentally did that, and it's left me a little short for you this week on getting a good video out, and that's the not so good news. But then I have really good news. It's still spring, and it is beautiful out here. It's chilly this morning, a little bit of chilly. We've had some light showers, but everything is still springing right along. It's just coming right along. The tulips are still beautiful this morning. They've not yet opened up because the sun hadn't hit them. So these are them closed up. They're really pretty this year. I did add some more tulips. I thought I added more than this. But you know, we have little animals, and I think some things are grazing on the tulips. I see a little pink one over here. These here are kind of orangish. A dark orange with maybe a little bit of a light yellow around them. They're beautiful, and when they open up they look much bigger. And then over here I've got a little pink one just out here on its own, living its own solitary life, looking gorgeous. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, spring is springing, and it's just happening. Absolutely beautiful spring day, and a good way to wake up and know that, you know, everything is going to change here in a bit with the weather. Everything is going to get prettier, and enjoy it. I've been enjoying the neighbors' cherry trees. Over here you can see the neighbor has this yellow forsythia right here. It's really pretty. It's a really big one. And then over here is the weeping cherry of the neighbors. It was blooming beautifully. Of course, with all of this comes a lot of pollen. We've had a lot of pollen, but I mean, that's okay, right? The birds are enjoying it, the bees are enjoying it. Things are popping out over here. We've got red buds over here. I'm going to show you the red buds. They're blooming. My rosemary that's over here is doing really good. I am so glad that I spread the rosemary out in more than one place. Got another little one over here, and that's one thing I like to do, is spread things out so that if something happens to one area, then something can thrive in another area, and I'm not at a total loss for all of my herbs. Today's Tuesday, is garbage pickup day, so I've got my garbage can out up the road waiting for them to pick it up. I came out here just to look at everything. I mean, the greenery that's happened overnight in just the last few days is simply amazing, especially on the rose bushes. I want to share that with you about the rose bushes. You know, I've been fighting black spot on some of my things, my rose bushes and stuff. Especially these that me and Donald have had since we moved into this house. I think they were Jackson and Perkins orders from a catalog. They were really, really good quality rose bushes. These are red rose bushes. That's what we bought. We've got one over here on the side. We've got this one. And we've got one over here on the side. So we've got like 4 of them, and we've had them for a long time. Well, I had been fighting black spot. You can see here's a little bit more. I always pick these off and throw them in the trash can so that they can't infect anything else, this fungus, this black spot fungus. But I have found something that helps, and that is copper. If you put copper down around the bottom of the rose bush, it will fight black spot, and that's amazing. I can just see just a few bits now. I've fought this black spot. There was a time when every leaf that came on here was covered in black spot, and it was recommended to just go ahead and chop down the rose bush and get rid of it if it had black spot. That's how hard it is to get rid of it. But I did not do that. I continued just to picking off the leaves and putting them in a baggie, sealing it up and throwing them in the trash can and getting rid of this black spot disease on my roses. And it's paid off. I'm glad that I did that because the rose bushes are just luscious. Now these are climbers. I can't cut the canes back too severely because the blooms come on second year canes. So I haven't wanted to cut back. Now this does need to be pruned. And it's not the time to prune it right now. But I love the luscious green of it. I can't wait to see the roses. They're beautiful every year. The little periwinkle is blooming down at the bottom. And it's a welcome sight. It's just beautiful. Peeking up wherever it can. The daffodils are kind of seeing the end of their blooming period. They're not quite as big and vibrant as they were, but there are a few fresh ones out that are certainly worth enjoying. You can see these are spent right here. We got little showers yesterday, so the bird baths do have a little bit of water in them for the birds this morning. The violets are in here. I don't quite have enough violets to make violet jelly. I wish that I did. Here's some dandelions. I can just dig those out and put them right in my, dry them out and put them in my tea cabinet. So I'll have dandelion tea. The lamb's ears coming up. The hosta are coming up in these little containers right here. Everything is looking good in the garden. Now the rosemary, we are just going to have to cut it back on the yard work day. Just going to have to cut this rosemary back. I see one little live sprig, and that is making me wonder. You see the little live sprig in here? You know, it's never, look at that. It's a lot, it may make it. I might cut off some of the dead or just cut off some and just wait and see what happens here. The lacy elderberry, you know, I've got all these dried limbs here. Got a little bit coming out right here on this one. And then it's coming out down here at the bottom. So it's not completely dead. I've never cut this back, but I think I'm going to have to severely trim this thing back. I love this, but if I lose it, I'll just replace it with another one. But things are waking up out here in this garden in this spring of this year. And it is beautiful. I think it's going to warm up. We had one 80-degree day, and then it turned around the next day and got down to 36. So we've been having some kind of alternate weather patterns, and so it's been one way or another. Look at these tiny little daffodils. They're out here beside the driveway. It's just two little patches of them. There's nothing in this bed. I had some amaranth, Love Lies Bleeding amaranth. It was just beautiful out here. Don't know if that's what I'm going to put out here again. There's some mushrooms growing here on this stump. And believe it or not, I think they're reishi mushrooms, which I value. And I was trying to leave them here so that they could grow some more, but they may not grow very much. Right there's some more of them growing on this stump. That's the reason I haven't totally removed this stump, is I wanted to let those reishi mushrooms grow. You know, last year we got to harvest turkey tails from the little area over here where Donald cut down some trees. We were able to harvest some turkey tail mushrooms. I got about 2 quarts after I dried them of those turkey tails, and they were a real delight. And they're still over here. We still left those good logs out here with a few turkey tails on. Hopefully they'll just keep on growing. I'll lay a few logs out so that they can kind of spread themselves here. Cut down the crepe myrtle because that thing was dropping its flowers and making a mess all over the driveway. And as much as I love crepe myrtle. I'm not going to let them just drop all over the driveway. It's a messy plant. There's some henbit here. Now the henbit has long spaces in between, and the purple dead nettle are kind of more clustered up. So there's both out here in this yard. There's henbit and purple dead nettle. I think there's more henbit out in the front, and there's more purple dead nettle, which is two plants that look very similar. Here's the purple dead nettle. You see how they're kind of stacked? The leaves are real close together and they're stacked. And here is the henbit. It has big spaces in between, and the flowers the leaves are slightly different. So here we got henbit and purple dead nettle growing right close together out here in this garden. Now it's edible. You can make tea out of it. You can eat it like a salad. I do not care for the taste of it. It does not have a delicious taste to me. I would eat it if I had to, and I may incorporate it into some other dishes that would carry more flavor, but it's not my herb of choice. This is the morning garden. The sun's already coming up. It feels like it's going to be a warm day. I haven't checked the weather today. Everything's green. It's filling out. The things that are budding, the trees and things that are supposed to bud for the spring are in budding action. Donald did get out here and work this weekend. I did not work with him. I did not come out and help him. Sorry about my hand. I did not do it. I just had one of those days where I just needed to shut down and rest, and so that's what I did while he was working. He worked Friday evening and Saturday out here. Sorry, I've got those leaves sticking to me. So I didn't get out and help him out in the yard very much. It was just not a time for me to work. I love to work in the yard. I love to get things accomplished and plan them. And I usually know how much time each project is going to take me. And when I get out here and kind of assess what I need to do, I kind of have a time frame in mind that I think it will take me to get that project done. Now, Donald does not operate like that. He has time and opportunity, and he gets out here and he just does it without any kind of planning. He just gets out here and he does whatever he sees that needs to be done. So we make a good couple in that way. We're both kind of different. Normally I like to jump out here and help him and kind of guide him, but he got out here and did what he wanted to do himself. And we've had some other things going on, so we've kind of put the yard work on the back burner, but we'll be picking that up here now that it's like spring weather, and now that it's spring and we're going to enjoy it, we can go ahead and start planning and picking up and going ahead with the things that we've got to do. And one of those is starting seedlings. That's coming up. My little helper is supervising me out here in the yard. He wants to get out here and chase bugs and birds. These are the reishi mushrooms that I just collected off my stump. I'll take a brush and kind of brush off a lot of that debris that's still stuck on it from the stump. So here are the reishi mushrooms that I just brought in off of the stump, that I harvested off of the stump. They've got the little stripe texture. They're kind of shiny. They're very, very woody, and the white on the back. Got a distinctive look on the back. These mushrooms are very woody, so I'll have to shave these down. I'll have to clean them up. I'll take a brush, go over here at the trash can and kind of brush down all this stuff that doesn't need to be here down at the bottom, and then I will shave these down and use them in different things. They're so good for brain health. And I bought reishi tea yesterday when I went shopping with my friend. I had It was my day off, and we just went and had a wonderful day. Enjoyed ourselves, got away, and just went all over the place. In fact, it was 4 o'clock before we even realized that we hadn't ate. But I did pick up this tea. She picked up several teas she needed for her apothecary, and I think I'm going to have a cup of that this morning. So it's good that God's mercies endure every day. They're new every day. So what was happening yesterday, I've got to let go, move on, push on, and embrace the new mercies every day. So that's what I've been trying to do. And the same thing with YouTube. Accidentally delete a really good video that I was looking forward to sharing with y'all and getting out. And just know that, hey, it's another day, and I'll have to make a new video and share things with you. And I don't mind doing that. I'm going to have this cup of reishi mushroom tea. And I'll be using the spring cup. My friend and I had tea together yesterday before we started out our day. And I'm going to tell you, we had such a good time that we almost didn't get out and go do anything, because we were just enjoying our tea and being able to talk and catch up and find out about things about each other that have been going on since the last time we got together. So we almost did not even go anywhere. We almost just stayed here and enjoyed our tea together. But we finally got out the door and went and looked at a place called the Pottery. It's in Virginia, and we drove there and looked around and enjoyed our time together. I'll share with you that haul here in just a little bit. We'll make this reishi mushroom tea, and I'm going to enjoy that this morning. Now, I did get this little spoon rest. I had it in here because I washed it, and I thought it was really cute. Now, that's a cute little spring spoon rest. And Sharon found it and said, this is like you can add to your spoon rest collection. I've got jars out here because I'm going to can some cherry jelly. Well, maybe cherry jam. I've got some cherries in the freezer I need to get out, and I've got some cherry juice I want to use up. And so I'm going to make some cherry jam later today. I've got these jars. Now, these are jars that that a friend gave me that she saves, and I have saved too. And I'll just reuse these. I'll reuse these lids once, and I'm going to make my jam. I'm not suggesting you do that. That is kind of a rebel idea, but I do it. I reuse the little jam jars with the seal inside. I'll set out one of these. And so I'm going to make a small little batch. And I've got my jars here that I'll be recycling and reusing. I'm going to do that today and go ahead and get that knocked out. And then, while this water is heating up and my tea is getting ready, I'll go in here and share with you a haul. Now we went to several different places. We went to the Pottery, and this is what I got from the Pottery. I got these right here. These terracotta pots that are kind of tall and a little bit taller than normal. So I got these two pots, and I like the shape of them. I'm going to use them. And I've got these little pots right here. I'm going to decorate with them. Just spring decorate with these little pots. I thought they were so cute. I did get this bowl from Ohio, and I'll show you some clips of the place that where we were at the Pottery there in Virginia, the Cana. Or the Fancy Gap. I think it's called the Fancy Gap Pottery. So I got a Burley clay bowl made in the USA.
and it was only $10. And I thought this would be a great bread bowl. It'd be a great bowl to put the bread in and just let it rise if it's big enough. But if it's not, I have a bigger one. But I got that, and I really like that. I got these faux daffodils. Thought they were cute. Got these at Hobby Lobby. Got these Cosmos, yellow Cosmos. They had red ones and they had different colored ones, but I picked the yellow ones. Got these dogwood blooms, the stem of dogwood blooms. I thought that was pretty. I got this ivy, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to put this and use my little pots somewhere just laying in the ivy. When I decorate, when I get a chance to decorate, that's what I'm going to do. And then I bought these popcorn buckets, and I did get these at Hobby Lobby. This is the big one, and then here are the two little ones. I mean the little ones. Let's see how many little ones I got. 9. That's funny, I didn't get 10, I just got 9. But anyway, I thought I got 10. These are good for the kiddos, when we have popcorn. And I have been trying to make most of the snacks that we have from here and not have so many store-bought snacks. So this will help with that. These are kind of pressed down, but they're just the perfect size for them to fill up and have a little popcorn as a snack. Don't have to be movie. Don't have to have a movie with it. You can just eat popcorn and enjoy it. And I think the other thing I got at Hobby Lobby was these two little chicks. I thought they looked so springy. They're little terracotta chicks with some kind of fuzz material on them. I thought those were real cute. And of course I'll decorate with those too. So that's what I got. Got this. All of the art and framed things were 50% off. And so I really like this. I used to play this on the organ. I couldn't play it now if my life depended on it, but when I was young, I would play this song on the organ. And so I thought that was pretty, and I got that, and it was half off. It was $21.99, and then just half off of that, so $11 basically for this nice print that I liked. And I think that's all that I got. Let me just go in here and enjoy my cup of tea. Let that steep for a little bit. Get all that good reishi mushroom goodness out of there. And then I'll just save these, and then whenever I want to make my own tea, I'll grind those up and make my own tea. But in the meantime, I'll just enjoy this one. It was $7.99 for these 20 reishi mushroom tea bags. And there's a lot of people that take this by capsule. They take the mushrooms by capsule. But I usually just drink everything in tea. I think I've shared with you that our chickens are laying again. Well, the possums, Donald carried the possums off, so we have eggs now. We're getting eggs every day, and that's a good thing. To have fresh eggs again, I was going to call the chickens because I thought they quit laying. Didn't know that possums were getting in there. I think Donald's removed 4 possums in total from our property. Relocated them, a few miles away. Well, a lot of miles away, so that they won't come back. Now things start absolutely picking up for us when it starts getting this time of the year. When it's spring, it gets real busy. The gardens are ready. I've got to get a few plants started. Just the ones that I know we really eat. I may go to the greenhouse that's close to us and see if I can find some things that I've been wanting to add to the garden that I probably won't start from seed. I'm hesitant to start a lot of seeds because it's so tricky around here. You can get your seeds started, and you can set them out to harden off, and it'll come a cold frost or come a cold day, and it'll just kill your seedlings. I didn't start seeds out last year because of that. The weather was kind of erratic, and I didn't want to kill all of my seeds. So I am going to still start some and maybe fix a place outside that's will be easier. It'll be easier for me to keep up with them, maybe in a little greenhouse. I've got a little greenhouse area, not big, one of those little portable greenhouses. A greenhouselet. It's just really small, just a little, one of those little prefabbed greenhouses that I can start seeds in. I'll probably go ahead and do that. But I did buy this thing this year. And boy, it is heavy duty. I'm going to start the seeds with this and try it instead of using so many containers. Now, I'm still going to use my containers because I'm not used to this. I don't know how it's going to work. Me and Donald are going to try it this year to start our seeds. But if this doesn't work out for us, then we still have a lot of seeds started in containers. But we're just going to try this to see how it goes. It makes 8 little seed pods at a time, and it's got those little black things that make the little hole so you can put your seed in. You pack it, and then you press it down, and you make containerless seed pods, starter pods from soil, and that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to see how this thing works for us this year, and if it works, then we'll just use it, and we'll get rid of a lot of the stuff that we've already got. But I use a variety of things to start the seeds in. So this looks kind of rough because it's not cleaned out, but it's got a lot of the things that I use. I love to start seeds in styrofoam cups because they work really, really well. I'd rather have styrofoam than plastic because the styrofoam holds the heat and the water. Styrofoam is a great insulator, and it works. And I've just saved some cups and got them out here. Now, some of these things I've used for several years, so they look a little rough, but they still work. Donald, I take a toothpick, or Donald will help me sometimes, and we'll just punch holes in the bottom of these styrofoam cups, and they're easy to write on, to put the name. You don't even really need any kind of marker. You can just write with a ballpoint ink pen, and you can put on here whatever you're starting. So you probably saw me do that before in the past. Here are some yogurt cups and things that we've saved, and they have holes on them. I used these last year. May use them again this year. Saved these cups right here because they're great for starting your seeds, and they're free. These are from a restaurant, so they were included. And then I've got to clean this little thing out so I can get my seeds started in. I use these because these are great little things to set the seeds up in, these little cardboard flats. And of course I got to keep them in here because if it rains and it wets these cardboard flats, then they're they get real flimsy. They get flimsy when they're wet because they're cardboard. But, I'll just set whatever. And I'm going to have some kind of pan to, when I use that form in there, that metal form, I'll have to have some kind of pan or something to lay those, press those. I'll have to press that form and start my seeds. I'll have to have some kind of firm thing to put down so that my seeds are pressed. I tried these this year, and these worked okay. They didn't work as great as I thought they were going to, but I did use them, and I'll probably use these again to start seeds. And there's things like this that you can save, these little clam containers from delis and stuff that you can save and do kind of like a little mass planting, and then pick them apart and put them in bigger containers when they get bigger. But this little thing, it's time to pull some of this stuff out and get ready for our seed starting. Keep them in here and get them started. and get ready to for our garden. We've got a really long growing season here, so I'm not going to really worry. I'm just going to get everything in its rhythm and its time and get started what I can. I did buy seed starting mix, and it doesn't seem like there's as much seed starting mix in here this year as it used to be. I got this at Walmart when I went to pick up a few things. I just got 2 of these. So I've got these ready, got them ready to go ahead and get my seeds started. So that's something that'll be happening this week. I do have a little bit of old Jiffy seed starting mix that I didn't use from last year. It was a little bit different. It was the natural and organic seed starting mix. So I've got a little bit of this left. And I'll start use it. Maybe I'll mix them, But I got plenty of seed starting mix to get the seeds started. I love to start the seeds. It's always like a really wonderful experience and, a good time to sit down and go through the seeds and pick out what, we're going to plant this year. I mean, it can be a real process, or it can be just fun. I just go through and think about what we enjoy, what we love the most, and then that's the seeds I pick out, and that's the ones that I start. I always start too many seeds. I always have way too many tomato seeds. I end up having to give some away, and that's probably going to happen this year too. And then I've got, I want to start more herbs, or maybe I'll buy some starts of herbs. I noticed that my thyme it hadn't came back yet. I hope it does come back. That rosemary out there, we'll see how it's going to do, whether it needs to be replaced or not. But some of the herbs that I grow and I use on a regular basis, I'll have to plan to get those planted. But it's a busy time of the year here when it starts spring, because there's extra, chores and things to do. The kids will be out of school, for the summer, and so I'll have more time with them, and that's wonderful, and I'll take the time and enjoy it. But the pace picks up around here when when it's spring and summer. It gets a little busier. But it's a wonderful time of the year, and it'll be fine to adjust and to fit all those good things in my life. So I'm looking forward to that. And we'll be sharing the things with you as I go along. I'll include at the end of this video just a couple of pictures of the pottery, the inside. I didn't get much of the stuff that they had there. I didn't get to take much footage because there was a lot of people there, and the music was really loud, and it was copyrighted, and so I didn't get a lot of footage of it, but I got a few snippets, and I will include those for you so you can just see where me and Sharon went that day. I didn't film Hobby Lobby. I mean Hobby Lobby. Everybody's been to it. Everybody goes to it. We just stopped by, and we mainly stopped by for the flowers. I mean, they have good prices in their flowers, so I mean, I wanted to get this little ivy-like stem and decorate with these little pots. And, they had a real good prices on these little pots and things. So that's why we went to Hobby Lobby. I don't think I've been to a Hobby Lobby. It's been more than 6 months. But it was fun to go with Sharon. It was fun to look around. I'm going to drink my Rishi tea. It's time to get my hair done. I'll skip the appointment, and I've got to get it done. But there's things that are coming up that I've just got to somehow squeeze it all in. How to get it all done. That's what I need. I need to watch or make a video on how to get it all done. We'll see if it all gets done. Thank you for joining me today and let me share these things with you. Stay on the end and watch these pictures of the inside of the pottery. That place was huge. It was a real workout to go in there and pick through the flowers and look around. It was a lot of fun. I thank you for joining me today. And like always, until next time. I can't film too much in here because the music is pretty loud, but I just wanted you to see.
the floral choices that you have in here at the Fancy Gap Pottery in Virginia. Sharon and I have decided to have a day today. We're having a day and we've come up here to the Fancy Gap Pottery. It's beautiful up here and we're doing a little shopping. I love to shop up here and I love to find some of their stuff. This is a burley clay made in the USA for $10. This would make a great bread bowl. They've got such pretty and nice stuff out here. Beautiful bowls, planters, containers at such a good price. Or here's the bowl that I just picked up. I thought it would be great to let the bread rise in when I make a small amount of bread. And they just have beautiful, beautiful things. There's a whole building chock full of goodies. Down here's some bowls. I think I already have one of these barley clay bowls right here. $8.99, beautiful brown harvest color. Just rolls of beautiful, useful pottery. I thought these pots would be beautiful. For herbs. Just love these little pots that look like they have impressions on them of wildflowers. Those are gorgeous. These are some terracotta clay pots. Great price. I'm gonna have to pick up a few of these.
Oh yeah, that is cute. Oh, you filming?
Oh, that's just some cute little. Over here's. This is a little bunny in different colors. A little bird on a nest and a seashell. And some more little bunnies.
Here, let me take this.
It's heavy.
I'll see you inside.
Let's get us a cart. They've got their stuff out for Easter. I am looking for something that is for an Easter wreath. Sharon.
Emerald wreath. Emerald wreath. I don't see me.
$3.